Hey everyone. I hope you're having a good day where you are. Most of you, we assume, are watching us. We are having a good night and about to finish up our day. It's a little past 10 here. Finally got the kids to bed and now we're jumping on to give you all a little bit of an update of what's been going on with us. The first thing that I want to tell you about is that we got some test results back for the boys. We did an allergy test for them this past week and found out, at least by the blood testing, that they are not showing any signs of having a clinical allergy to anything. They tested several different types of mold, several different types of pollen, tons of different animals, and even several food allergies. And so, at least based on the blood testing, um, it seems like the boys don't have any major triggers.
Yeah, which is a huge praise because, we had a couple people kind of provide us with some input. And we did a little bit of research and figured out what type of mold we had in our house. And we found this one mold disease that seemed to kind of be have a lot of explanatory power for what was going on and why antibiotics weren't working, why the cortisone shots were working for Denton, why we had continuous wheezing, and so we were really nervous that was the cause.
Yeah.
But fortunately, it's not.
Yes.
Unfortunately, now we just have no clue what's going on.
Well, no, we still think that asthma is still a leading kind of working diagnosis, and we've just discovered that you don't necessarily have to have an allergy to something to trigger asthma. So, I mean, it's still a journey. We are still trying to figure it out. We, by no means, have the final answer, but at least preliminarily, it looks like it's not the mold disease that we were thinking it was going to be, which is awesome. So yeah, we're pretty healthy right now. We finally started Denton on some Singulair. Atticus has been on Singulair for about a month, and so Denton has gone about 3 days now without any wheezing, and so that's awesome because it had been like 3.5 weeks. As you may be able to hear, I suddenly have laryngitis. Yesterday I couldn't talk at all. I have no idea why I have it. I feel totally fine. I have no other symptoms. I just lost my voice, and that's it. No clue why. I don't even think that I've been yelling at my kids a whole lot, so I don't feel like it's like some sort of punishment for yelling too much. I think, I don't know, I just have some laryngitis, which kind of stinks because this was going to be the first Sunday that I was going to be singing with our worship group in front of the church. They had asked me to help them sing a while back, and so I've been practicing with them and trying to get used to it and make sure I know how to sing and say all the words correctly in Romanian. And I was supposed to start this Sunday, and got a feeling I'm not going to be singing tomorrow because I can't make much of anything come out of my mouth. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, kind of along those same lines. We're starting to branch out more as we finish up our last month of full-fledged language school. So Catalina is helping out with music, and then we've got a men's Bible study off the ground, which is really fun and refreshing for me. And it's also really cool because our language tutor Jonuts is also coming to that. So he's not he's the only non-church member who's coming at the moment, and that's just really exciting. And actually, he's leading the study next week. We're going through the Prodigal God by Tim Keller, which is a really good book for this culture because the Orthodox Church, every church has their own tendency towards error. The Orthodox Church tends to kind of be moralistic, and the Prodigal God is really good because it's about grace and kind of against moralism. So it's interesting.
Yeah, and it's also really cool. Basically, our language class now has turned into Yonuts has been reading through the Prodigal God, and so he will photocopy sections that he finds particularly interesting, and just talking to us and asking questions. And that's how we've been practicing language as well, is to basically go through interesting portions of the Prodigal God with Yonut. So that's really, really neat to see how God's bringing him into Bible study. And we just pray that that will continue, that youths will, even not just learn more about God, but that it will touch his heart, that he will see himself and see his need for Christ. You see what Brian Nelson just told you?
Yeah. Hi, friend.
Yeah, so Derek shaved too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Can you tell me your plan about the beard?
Yeah, well, I shaved this right when Denton was born, so it's basically the same age as Denton. So maybe when he's a year old, I'll shave it, kind of. I don't know.
Or when when Denton is 6 months old, I might accidentally bring a razor to bed, because that's normal. I
Right.
sleep with a razor sometimes. In the middle of the night, it might go off. No, I'm just kidding.
So yeah. So anyway, that's really exciting with our Bible study and with Yonuts. And then Friday was my first time helping out with the youth here, which is it's very humbling having a bunch of kids who are way younger than you who can talk circles around you and you just feel like an idiot. So that's good. But usually I gravitate towards middle schoolers, but middle schoolers are kind of like the silent, just jerky type. So I'm gravitating towards like the 5-year-olds who will talk to me and like humor me, and my vocabulary is more in line with theirs. So yeah, it's been really, really fun to kind of branch out there. Don't have too much to say about those things, but maybe in the future.
Yeah. Well, we've also been having one of the church members. Also, his name happens to be Eunice as well. He has started coming over every Monday night for dinner with us, and he goes to Bible study with Derek and just kind of comes here and hangs out with the kids. And that's been really cool to see, just to get to know him more and to hear about his life. He is the only member of our church who is a part of the Roma community. Again, if you've forgotten, Roma is the nicer term for gypsy community. So we don't call them gypsies, we call them Roma. And so yeah, it's been interesting to get to know him better and to start to hear a little bit about his life and what that looks like, to be a part of the Roma community, but also to be in our church community. And we're also really glad that our church, because people here in Romania are full stereotypes against the Roma community. And so it's just really awesome to us that we see the church members embracing someone from the Roma community. And we're hoping that might be a way to help us learn more about that community as well.
Yeah. So speaking of the Roma community, I think probably and the most we have to talk about would be Ramona. She's been an individual that we've been kind of working with since probably about December. And we provided her with some work once a week, and we usually give her some groceries and those sorts of things. So she's been coming by frequently, and she often comes by a couple times a week, and usually to ask for money or something like that, and medical bills and whatnot. And so you can kind of go back and see some of our other videos or read some of the things we wrote if you need to be filled in on that. Kind of the important thing to know is that our philosophy, from all of the wisdom we've gleaned from people and the mistakes that we've made, and my experience on the diaconate, we just feel that leading with grace is an important thing to do. And so with Ramona, we know that she's part of the Roma community. In fact, just a couple weeks ago, she was waiting for us to get back because she comes over Wednesdays, Wednesday afternoons, and she was waiting for us to get back. And one of our neighbors came out, and he was just kind of really angry, and it was a weird, yeah, he was very angry, and he just said that there's a gypsy who's outside of your house, and she was snooping around and whatnot, and so he just was being thoughtful and looking out for us, but just kind of betrayed his views without even knowing Ramona. Just kind of betrayed the community's views, and so anyway, our view has been to lead with grace, and then to let Ramona or anybody else kind of prove themselves to be a part of that stereotype or not. So we try not to stereotype as much as possible. But 2 weeks ago, she brought us another bill, and she said, look, this is a bill for or a prescription for my daughter, and I need to get it filled. So normally we don't give any money. So I took the prescription and I tried to get it filled, but I couldn't. It was late, and both of the shops that I went to didn't have it. So I came back, and she met me, and I said, I'm sorry, I couldn't get it filled. And so I decided to kind of produce an opportunity for her to prove herself. And so I gave her some money and said, here, you go, get the prescription filled, and then bring the receipt back to us, and with the change. And so a couple days later, she came back, she brought the receipt, and the receipt was for...
We'll just use dollars to remember.
Yeah.
It's not really dollars, but $7.50.
Right.
It's not really dollars, but...
And we had given her $50. I mean, it was like $10, but we gave her 50.
Right. So that we don't have to do conversions back and forth. It's 50 lei, but we'll just pretend like it's dollars.
So we gave her 50, and so she said, well, look, I have this receipt, it's for 75. And so really I used the 50 that you gave me, and then I had to go out and like sell some clothes or something so I could get the rest, so I could provide medicine for my daughter. And we looked at the receipt and we're like, no, that's 7.5. Like, that's not 75. And she changed her story several times, and we even got Yonitz, our language tutor, to help us. Like, are we understanding her right? And then we got Derek Ebers, the other missionary, to help us and talk. And it was just, you could tell, like, it was the first time that 100% for sure we're like, look, this is very tangible. It's objective. You're trying to kind of pull the wool over our eyes. And so we
were very honest when we told her through our help with our translator, like, you've lost trust here with us now. But we gave her several ways to try to restore that. It's never about just,
we're cutting you off.
Yeah, or even just like trying to catch her in a lie. It was, here are some of the ways that you can restore so that we can continue the relationship.
Yeah. So she was, she seemed very sad, and she was, I guess, crying a little bit and stuff. Then I had to go pick up the kids from school, and then she's a different person with Catalina around. I guess she got angry with me.
Yeah, long story short, she got really angry with me when Derek was gone and tried to ask for more, and just got really mad. Yeah.
So we were not sure that Ramona was going to come back, because we've heard that people will kind of keep going along with things until they reach a wall or a difficulty, and then they'll just be like, all right, I got what I could out of this relationship, I'm out of here. But she's come back the last 2 weeks since that event, and it's been very good. She still asks us for money, and we are saying no. We've provided her with 3 things that we want to help her do. We want to help her tap into the Romanian system for support, because she's got 5 kids. She's got a husband who has died, and so she should be able to receive money from the government to help her out. Um, and, and so she said that she does not have any of that income, and we've got people in the church who can help her walk her through that. But every time we say, hey, look, we can help you out this day at this time, she says she's too busy, or she's got other things, and it doesn't seem like something that she's willing to pursue. The second thing is a budget. We want to help her create a budget. And part of that, we tell her, is that we just need openness and honesty. We need to see, what needs you really have, and we want to help you to know where your money is going. It's important, both for our trust, so that we know what your legitimate expenses are, and so we can help you be wise about your expenses and things. The third thing is we want to help her find a job, and there probably aren't too many people in the community who would provide her with cleaning work, things like that. But we know people who look for jobs in the community, and can probably help figure out what would a 50-year-old Roma woman be able to do, and where might she be able to find work in the community.
So yeah, we just need your continued prayers regarding that. It is something that we want to continue the quote-unquote relationship there as much as possible. As I've written about before, there have been lots of opportunities to talk with her about God, to share with her about Jesus and the resurrection, and to read several different Bible stories. And so we're just kind of trying to continually balance how to have wisdom and grace in the situation, but then also recognizing that leading with grace doesn't mean that you allow someone to take advantage of you either. So there's just a lot of wisdom that we need in that situation. So,
yeah, and then I would guess the other thing with that too would be, we got one other family who are actually neighbors who try to take advantage of us and ask to borrow money and things. And just yesterday, one of our other neighbors came over because she saw this family come into our house, and she was just angry, and they're trying to take advantage of you. Don't you let them into your house, and saying all kinds of really terrible things that they had done before. And so we want to not let the perception of our neighbors keep us from helping people who are kind of on the fringes of the community. But at the same time, we want to be respectful of the community too. So figuring out how to best represent Christ to the people on the fringes of society, and pray that would touch the hearts of the other neighbors who see that going on, instead of making them resent us and be pushed away from the gospel.
great. Okay. So those are basically our main ministry things going on right now, and things that we would likely be praying about. Again, we were going to quickly fill you all in on Elin. At the beginning of the video, we talked about the boys, and basically ever since my parents left, Elin has really had a hard time again. I don't know if any of y'all remember that basically at the beginning, before we started seeking counseling help, Elin had been praying every day for God to keep us safe when we go back to Georgia. That was her heart's cry, was to go back to Georgia. And then we started the counseling, and things started to get a little better. And then a little bit before my parents came, we were starting to see a little bit of behavioral changes again. And then my parents came, and my parents left, the same time my parents left, I was in the hospital with Denton. So things kind of came crashing down on her again. And after I got out of the hospital, she made certain comments about how she was sick, and it asked Derek, well, if I get sick, will mommy go to the hospital with me? Started really acting out. Denton has always been kind of her source of joy ever since he was born. And we started seeing her for the first time act out against him, very passive aggressively. Um, and and she started making comments again about wanting to go back home and how much she misses her friends and praying to go back to Georgia again. And so we've just really seen a change in her again. And so we would just continue to covet your prayers surrounding her and her poor little heart. And us with wisdom to know how to show her love and patience, and also but continued discipline. It's a really tricky situation, and yeah, it's just been really, really hard for her. She's incredibly smart intellectually, but her emotions are on par with a 3 or almost 4-year-old. And so it's, I know that any toddler is hard. It's just a difficult age sometimes, some more than others, but it's just a difficult age. But when we pile on the anxiety on top of that Ewing seems to have, she's also showing signs of anxiety by talking about having a stomach ache a lot, or like when she has to go to school, having a stomach ache. We're trying to pray through whether we should continue school. There's just like a lot of things that we feel like every day we don't know which daughter we're going to get that day, and we're just praying constantly that God will help us know how to reach her heart. So that's another big prayer request. So I feel like there's kind of just continuation of all of these prayer requests. Nothing seems to be really new, but yeah, so just continue to pray for Ramona and your needs, and then our kids. So, yeah, thank y'all so much for taking the time to jump in here with us and to know what's going on. And as y'all have questions or anything, then feel free to leave those on our wall, and we can answer those in our
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, y'all. Have a good night or good day leading into your good night.